Alright, good morning fellow traders. This is Pete Sears from Techie.com. It is Thursday, August 4th, just around 6:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we're going to be talking about the New Zealand Canadian dollar cross. Now here in the 4-hour compression, where I begin my analysis, what I can see is that dominantly we are in an uptrend on this pair. And also what I can see coming in here is potentially a bearish reversal on the pair. Now my analysis is coming straight from drawing my single line trend line here on the 4-hour compression, and you can see how nicely this market has respected throughout these points the single line trend line here, showing the demand in the market. And now what we can also see is that this market is hooking back to that line where we usually find resistance once the market has overcome that level. So just wanted to show that very quickly there. Now let's go ahead here and see what further analysis we have developing on this pair. So overall we're coming here from a very large movement on the pair. We can see that for the most part the clear movement started at this point from this bottom, and we see a nice directional movement in here, a pullback, and movements throughout. And what I want to do now is I want to go ahead here and try to gather evidence and see, has this movement here completed itself, thus giving me further belief that this is going to be a new trend in the market. Okay, because remember, these markets are always trying to self-police themselves because they want to avoid interventions, just as we saw a few hours ago on the yen pair. So taking a look here, what we can see on this pair is that we have made it up to the level of the 84.15 or so. So let's just get an exact number on that, 84.15. And we are within about 36 pips of that 1.270. So remember, within 30 pips or so, we assume that the market has achieved the payment that it's looking for, because we can realize that there's no reward here for the risk that they have to take to complete this trade. So what they pretty much do is they bend, and you can see that from the profit taking on this pair. Now again, the most important part of this entire setup right here is the fact that we have seen the market break this line of demand. So what that means now is that supply has overcome demand, so we should see a fall in the value of the currency. Okay, so further moving on, what I want to do is I want to take a look here and see what else we have going on. Now you can also make a case for a head and shoulders here in this market. Okay, although that the neckline here is lining up, going across, and we can see the break of that. So also just another little piece of information. Remember, that's what trading is all about, is putting together all the pieces of the puzzle. So now what I want to do is I want to see, where in this movement do I stand at this point. And what I can see here is a nice movement down to that line of demand. Okay, and we usually see the bounce off of that and the breakthrough. So now what we want to do, since we have a nice movement there with a clear pullback in it, we want to go ahead here and start fibbing this and see what is going on in this marketplace, what is currently happening. Now what we can see here is that we have made a very clear movement in this market. From this point we have pulled back off of that line of demand. Market violated that, so this violation here is showing us that supply has overcome the market. Okay, and we took out an area here of the 1.270, of the 270 Fibbo target, missing it there by just 5 to 10 pips. And now what we're seeing is this market pull back. So one piece of information that we have now is potentially looking for areas that this market can pull back to. So now what we want to do is we want to take a fresh set of retracements from this top to this new bottom right here and see what is that going to give us in the marketplace, potentially areas here that we can look to trade for. So just taking once again the top here of this movement, okay, down to that bottom, and we're strictly using these now for retracements. Okay, so now what we're looking at right now at this point is we can see that we have a 382 coming in at this point right here, okay, which is overlapping with 23.6 of the previous movement. Not necessarily very important. What we also want to do is we want to fib retrace this last leg of the movement. Okay, and look for areas of confluence of retracements in this marketplace. So we can see sitting right here at the 61.8, overlapping the 23.6, is a perfect area for this market to potentially bounce. Now furthermore, what I can see here in this market is potentially a single line trend line coming in here on the top, which is also known as the supply line. So remember, we are out of the demand driving the market up, and now we're looking for supply here to continue pushing it south. So what we're now going to look for is we're going to look for the scenario here for this market to come up to that supply line and bounce off of it, not for the violation. We'll look for the bounce, the turnaround bounce, and then take out further levels of the fib targets below of the original set here in blue that we had. Okay, because remember, we were showing respect here of the 270. So then what we anticipate is that we're going to see further respect here in this marketplace to further fib expansions. Now, a great opportunity to look for here overall is for this marketplace here to pay out this 1.270. So let's just go ahead there and highlight that so we can get the exact price on that. There we go. And we're looking at a level of 80.25 or so. So that would be the overall target. Now remember, what we look for here is opportunities to trade this. So it's a Thursday, okay, and we will look for our opportunity to trade it to the next target. So since we've taken out this 270, our next target would be the 61.8 sitting below. And we can see that right there, highlighting it. We get a price of 81.35. So here is where this all comes together, and we look for the great opportunity to take the market, sell it on a crash here of the line of supply. We anticipate that the sellers will be sitting right there at around the 82.95 to 83 flat price level, and look for it to trade all the way down to the 81.35 here to wrap up this trading week. And we don't anticipate that we're going to see further movement south during this week, just considering the average daily range of the New Zealand CAD and anticipating this market. So it has to make it up just around 30-35 more pips to this top. We look for short opportunities. We get a very, very tight stop here. We're risking a very small amount of pips for just around 160 pips reward here down to that 81.35 price level. So that's what we have there on the New Zealand CAD. I just wanted to share that with you. Hope you enjoy that. Until next time, folks, good luck and happy trading.